What is up, guys? Rick Cacus here, and today we've got some brand spankin' new Destiny 2 news. Now that's because the Bungie weekly update has just been released, detailing a bunch of new official information. And today we're going to go over all of it. It's going to be a little bit of shorter news update today. There wasn't anything absolutely massive revealed, but there was still some very interesting and important stuff. So let's firstly talk about faction rallies. They're happening right now and they're going to end on October 3rd, the upcoming Tuesday. Now, I'm sure most of you are pledged to a certain faction or more than one if you have multiple characters and are wondering, well, how is this whole victory prize thing going to work? Well, essentially, on October 3rd, the Tuesday, as soon as the scheduled maintenance, which we're going to talk about in just a bit, ends, Bungie will officially announce the faction that won, and then presumably that weapon will be available to purchase for anyone out there. Remember, it's going to be 50,000 Glimmer for that winning faction's weapon if you didn't pledge allegiance to that faction, and only 1,000 if you did. So if you have multiple characters, make sure you're buying it with the character that is pledged to the winning faction. Now, at this point, you will no longer be able to go out and earn faction tokens, so there's not going to be any more securing of enemy supplies or anything like that. It's going to go back to normal, just like it was before the faction rally. However, if you have any lingering tokens, or you have an engram waiting for you, you can still redeem those and collect the loot after the faction rally has concluded. However, of course, you really want to try to turn those in before, so that you can actually contribute to a faction winning the faction rally, of course. Now, in addition to that, the faction rally won't just restart. It's not going to be a weekly activity like flashpoints. Faction rallies will go away and they're going to return, in Bungie's own words, in the near future. So there's going to be probably a few weeks until the next faction rally is going to appear, and that next faction rally will likely have new faction weapons being featured and then new prize weapons as well. Now, something important to note, when this new faction rally happens, it's going to reset all of your faction tokens. So don't be waiting too long to return them, and also you can't carry them over. So don't have 100 tokens and just wait for the next faction rally. Again, those tokens will reset. Alright, so that's what Bungie said about faction rallies. Moving on, we have some interesting info on that aforementioned update. So, firstly, let's get the timing out of the way. Tuesday, October 3rd, hotfix 1.0.3.1, just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? That is going to hit. It's going to start. Maintenance is going to officially begin at 8 a.m. Pacific on the 3rd, and then players will no longer be able to sign into Destiny 2 at 9 a.m. Pacific. Maintenance is scheduled to be completed at 12 p.m. Pacific, all on the 3rd of October. Some of the things they're hoping to fix include PlayStation 4 crashes when loading into the tower, Leviathan raid key glitches where they could just disappear from your inventory, Cade stash lost sector, and planetary chest reward issues, and so on. Now, in addition to that, Bungie actually did talk about some of the changes they may be planning for the upcoming Sandbox update, the first set of buffs and nerfs that will eventually be hitting Destiny. The senior designer, John Wisniewski, said, "Hello, Guardians. Since the launch of Destiny 2, we have been reading your feedback, spectating streams, and watching YouTube videos. Very recently, we received our first real batch of player data from our analytics team. We've also been shoulder to shoulder with you in the trenches daily, playing the ever-loved Kurd out of this game. We're not ready to go into detail about any weapon or ability tuning at this point, but there is an ongoing process in play, so we did want to drop a quick line and say, we have heard your feedback. Thank you. Destiny 2 will get updates that tune the Sandbox experience. We are aware of the Mida Multi Tool's popularity and are looking at it very closely. It is popular, but according to our data, there are options out there that match or exceed its effectiveness in all activities. Have you found one? It's only the first month of a long adventure. Many players are still gathering weapons for their arsenal, and we have a handful of guns that haven't even hit the game yet. Obviously, there he's referring to Iron Banner. That's the next big activity, that's the next big influx of loot. We're excited to see how these things evolve, and anyways, thanks for playing and keeping the feedback rolling in. And suggest that if you do have feedback, go to the Bungie feedback forum on their website and give constructive criticism there. That's a huge place they listen. So there you have it. Bungie is aware of the Mida Multi Tool issue, but then again, so is anyone who plays one round of the Crucible, so that's not saying much. However, it was very interesting that they didn't say, yep, this is a gun that's clearly overpowered, that we're gonna take a look at this gun and probably tone it down, that we've heard your feedback, the Mida will be nerfed. They said, you know what, looking at it, it's popular, but there are alternatives. This is a very good thing, and I know some of you out there are going, what the heck did you just say? I want the Mida to be nerfed. Guys, there's still a very big chance that the Mida will be nerfed. I personally think that it just needs its flinch toned down a little bit. That's the only change I would recommend. But that's a whole different topic. The good news here, and why everyone out there should be happy by this news, is that it shows a different Bungie. It shows a Bungie that's looking at it and saying, you know what, we don't want to jump to conclusions, we haven't unveiled all our weapons yet, we're not going to go and nerf the Mida to the ground. And that is very, very good. Even if you do want the Mida to be toned down a bit, you probably don't want it nerfed so hard it's completely unusable. But frankly, that's what happened in Destiny 1. In Destiny 1, not only would the Mida be nerfed, but all scout rifles would be nerfed to the point where they weren't even usable. And that is something that most of the community just is so petrified of happening again. Heck, people don't even want to talk about buffs and nerfs. Like, they downvote videos and they get super upset at me if I even talk about stuff, just because they're so afraid of Bungie nerfing the crap out of stuff. But judging from what we've seen here and the words they used, hopefully they're taking a much more cautious approach, a much more minimalistic approach, and if they do nerf the Mida, it'll be by a small amount. See how that goes. If you need to nerf it again, well then nerf it again, rather than like completely tearing this weapon away from competitiveness, which was all too often the case in Destiny 1. In any event, guys, that is it for today's Destiny news. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it informative. Now, if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. And if you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.